Breath, huh? Let's take another breath. We begin this new year with the theme of vision. You know, January is noted for that time in the year where we're busy doing resolutions. And we're evaluating and we're making decisions and goals and setting our intentions about what we're going to do and not do. And I want us to anchor in this concept of vision. You hear me say all the time from my mentor Beckwith, pain pushes until vision pulls. Pain pushes until vision pulls. Don't let your resolution be pain pushing. Don't let your resolution be pain pushing. That may give you some motivation to get started, but I guarantee you, you will not be able to sustain it unless there is a vision that's pulling you. Let's just say it's about finances. Okay? If you're in the pain of chronic debt, you're in the pain of feeling like you don't have enough, you're in the pain of that sort of rat race of the paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, or no paycheck at all, or whatever it is that might be, if that's the focus of your attention, I want to get out of this. I want to get out of this debt. I'm listening to you. I'm going to get out of the debt. No more debt. I'm out of the debt. No more debt. Not debt. What do you get more of? Because that's what you're sending out to the universe. So at some point, you have to have some kind of bold audacity to actually look beyond and through the debt and have a vision of yourself sufficient. A vision of yourself climbing out of it. A vision of yourself that's something other than what it is that you're running away from. If it's a health challenge, or if it's a health issue, all of your attention can't be on whatever. I want to lose this weight. I want to, lick this condition, this bum neck and this bad knee and oh, I'm so tired of being tired. And that may jumpstart you, but at some point the mantra in your mind has to be about health. It has to be about vitality. It has to be about vigor. It has to be about flexibility and all of the things that you're really trying to move towards. The pain of drinking can't make you sober. The pain of drinking can't make you sober. That may be enough to get you started, but at some point it's got to move beyond my drinking, my addictions, my this, my that, into I want a life that's clean and sober. I want a life that's functional. I want a life that I'm proud of. I want a life that's integrated and whole, and that comes with possibility. Possibility. I don't want to get confused here, and the English language is just such a tough language that when I talk about vision, I'm not just talking about a picture that you have in mind. Vision doesn't even have to be something extremely specific. Vision is an energy force field. Energy is an intention. You may have a vision of your children as happy, successful adults that doesn't have a picture on it of what they're going to look like and where they're going to live and what job they're going to have and who they're going to be with and what they're going to wear and blah, 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 blah. You don't need all of that. If you are using pictures, the pictures are just to get you into the vibration. The pictures aren't for the manifestation. The pictures are for the recalibration within your own self so that you align with it, so that you resonate with it. I like that. I need to hear that again. The pictures are not for you to fixate on. That becomes a trap, because if you don't manifest that picture, then it just gives you something to beat yourself up with. You may or may not manifest that picture. The way that your good unfolds, the way that it looks, the way that it comes about, maybe that, maybe not. But if you're moving in the direction of it, like, what does the picture represent? Does it represent freedom, creativity, wholeness, prosperity, love, connection, compassion, empowerment? What does it represent? And you just allow, if you're doing a picture, to recalibrate you so that the energy field of those things, so that the vibration of those things becomes something that you connect with. You can't have you here and this thing you want to manifest over there, and your vibration be the antithesis of what it is that you're wanting to experience. You have to become it. You can't sit here all mean and grouchy and judgmental and talk about manifesting your unconditionally loving relationship. It just doesn't work that way. We have to become it. And it happens with this vision of possibility. I had this epiphany just a few moments ago, before church started, about faith. And I heard that inner voice say to me that faith essentially is a vision of possibility. That's what faith is. It's a vision of possibility. You may not know where it's going to come from or how it's going to manifest or if or when. That's not your problem. We make it our problem, but that's not our problem. So what ends up happening is, because we can't see the how, we stop believing in the what. Because I don't know how this financial bill is going to be handled, because I don't know how this cancer is going to leave my body, because I don't know how this marriage is going to be repaired, because I don't know how these things are going to happen, I stop believing it's possible. I don't even allow myself to think that it's possible, because somehow or another, I don't want to feel dumb or stupid if it doesn't. So somehow or another, we like to be more confident in what we know is not going to happen than to risk feeling foolish in what it is that we want. We'd rather stand firm in the, I know this ain't going to happen. At least I won't look stupid. We're laughing, but how often has it stopped you? Because you feel like you don't even want to be stupid to your own self. Is it stupid for me to believe? You don't know what's going to happen anyway. Say, well, Reverend Deborah, is that just a bunch of fancy stuff? Well, you don't know. Honestly, our brains are such that it doesn't like a void. So we're always putting on a conclusion. I remember when I first got this. It was in some psych class a long time ago. But it was showing, you know how animation used to be essentially like flip cards, or each action was like the next thing, and they would string it together very fast to make it look like motion. Well, it showed a vase that was rolling off of a table, and the card stopped before the vase actually hit the ground. And they did this experiment, and over 80% of the people reported they saw the vase shatter. And a lot of it in like really vivid detail, because they filled it in. That's why eyewitnesses sometimes can get so tripped up, because you see a part of something and then you're filling it in with the rest of the stuff that you think that it ought to be. Since your mind does that anyway, let it work for you. You're going to fill it up anyway. All of a sudden, I'm hearing my mother. My mother used to talk, she was a teacher her whole career. And she would talk about child rearing and like training kids. And she was just unashamed about it. Particularly like religious stuff. She was like, yeah, it's brainwashing. She said, somebody's going to put something in their head. It might as well be me. They're not going to walk around with an empty head. Somebody's going to put something in there. So let me put in some good stuff before they get to all the other stuff. It's really serious. That we're always feeding our mind something. We're always feeding it something. And that audacity to have a vision of possibility, and that being faith. So for the past hour now or so, I've been going over in my head all these Bible stories that I grew up with. And it's like in every single one of them where there was what was considered an act of faith, somebody had the possibility consciousness. Nothing happened out of nothing. Somebody in the story thought something could happen. and it was out of that vision of the possibility. Not knowing how, but willing to move beyond all your reasons why not. If we get stuck in all the reasons why not, it won't happen. Because there will be an endless number of reasons why not. This vision of possibility, when you're making your resolution, dare to dream. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't make resolutions, but just let that be a little stepping stone. Because your resolution is probably something that you think that you can actually make happen. Okay? So that's going to put you in the realm of your resources, your knowledge, and all the stuff you think that you can do. That's what's probable. Possible trumps probable. Possible is beyond probable. Listen to what I'm saying. Possible is beyond probable. So we live in a world based on a lot of statistics about what can happen and what can't happen that's based on probability theory, where folks are looking at what already has happened, doing fancy extrapolations into the future, the past. You're projecting the past into the future to try to predict what's going to happen. Listen to what I'm saying. You take what has been, you project it into the future to try to predict the future. Can you see there's a problem with that? That if all you're doing is taking what you've known, taking what has been, and projecting that into the future, you're just going to get more of what has been. Unashamedly, I love me some Obamas. I love the Obamas. And I noticed yesterday the Gallup polls said that Michelle Obama, according to the Gallup poll, is the most admired woman in America. She bumped Hillary Clinton, apparently, out of that spot. But what I hadn't known, it said that for the past 11 years, Barack Obama has been the most admired man in the Gallup polls. 11 years straight, continuing right now. And then I thought, wow, they're a married couple. And they got that independently. Are you with me? And then I thought about the probability of that. Hello? What was the probability? When I was growing up, it used to be a joke in the black community. When people would start telling you about, oh, you can be whatever it is that you want it to be, the joke was always, you'll never be president. Am I lying? You'll never be president. Yeah, that was, it's like you knew there was some kind of a ceiling. Are you with me? So I saw Michelle Obama on a show with Oprah. I don't know. She's done it recently as part of this book tour that she's doing, her new book, Becoming. And I haven't read the book yet. I don't have a copy of the book yet, but everybody tells me it is all that and a few bags of chips. So and I'm listening to these stories, and Michelle Obama was saying how anytime people would ask Barack, was he going to run for president, he'd always just wouldn't really answer directly. And he'd say, well, it's a family decision, which was code for, I got to get this by my wife. So she said she finally just decided, you know, who am I to hold him from his dreams? He really has like the possibility of this. And she said, I didn't think he would win. I didn't think he would win. So let's just do this, get it out the system or whatever. And he took Iowa. First primaries go round. And then it was like, whoa. whoa, it's on. It's on. Now, he thought he could win, but I'm going to tell you the truth, he was probably about the only one. I'm just saying. And particularly back then with a name like Barack Hussein Obama? Oh, please. But it takes a vision of possibility. See, when it unfolds, how can I describe this? And Scripture says all things are working together for our good. It's never just one particular thing. I sometimes refer to it as the stars line up. We're at that moment of the great unfoldment of whatever is before you to do, everything will line up. The right support, the right people, the right opportunity, the right timing, and you can't control all of that. You just got to show up. You just got to show up with your willingness and with your vision, and let the universe work all of the rest of the stuff out. See, so what I'm trying to get you to do here is go beyond just your resolution. I'm not saying don't have any, but live in a vision of possibility which is beyond what you even know. I say sometimes all the time, if the dream of your life doesn't scare you half to death, dream a bigger dream. If the dream of your life doesn't scare you half to death, it's not a dream, that's a plan. That's a plan. And we don't get shown all of it. Like it says in the affirmations today, I don't have to see all of it to say yes to the little bit that is in front of me. So we hold out. We hold out. We get a little glimpse of possibility, but we can't, because we don't see the whole picture. We don't move forward on the little bit that you see. It's like breadcrumbs. It's like breadcrumbs. When I talk to most people, it isn't like they had a specific goal and worked and reached that goal. When I talk to people at, say, 50, and say, is your life at 50 anything what you thought it was going to be when you were 20? And rarely do I have anybody that says yes. Because life happens. But when you follow the breadcrumbs, so to speak, when you do just what is before you to do now, it's not a question of big or little. We're holding out. I'm not going to be fully present in these relationships because it's not the big one. Like somehow or another, I can just be mean, nasty, indifferent, and then suddenly this person's going to come around and boom, I'm going to manage to be unconditionally loving. I can treat my car, my apartment, my house, like really raggedy, like it's nothing. Why bother? This old car, this old whatever. Oh, but when I get my hot rod, oh, but when I get my big estate, well, I'm going to take care of that one. No, it's the other way around. The more you take care of what you have, the more sacred you treat what you have, then that grows, and then that expands, and that becomes more of all needs met. In the Bible, in the book of Hebrews actually 11:1, there's a phrase that some of you might have heard of. which says faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And that word substance, a more literal definition would probably be realization. It's this possibility consciousness. That faith is the realization of things hoped for. That faith is that capacity to be able to imagine something. And the evidence of things not seen. A more accurate word would probably be confidence. That faith is the realization of things not seen and the confidence of the things that are hoped for. There are no words to say how important vision is, because you're going nowhere without it. If all you see are the facts, that's what you're going to manifest more of. 2019, it's going to be a hell of a ride in our socio-political climate here in the United States. Let's get real. Okay? But is your vision way on the other end? Or is your vision, boom, crash? Get what I'm saying? Okay. You know it's going to be a roller coaster. Is your vision at the end crash and burn? Or is your vision some kind of liberation? I want to share with you a story that happened a number of years ago when I was still living in Los Angeles. And I had this one dog, I had these two dogs, but one in particular, this really beautiful red Cocker Spaniel. He was a big fella. My vet said he was the biggest cocker she'd ever seen. Just boom. And he would chase things. And I kept having these, like nightmares, really, these visions of this dog getting hit by a car. And there was this one time in particular that vision came to me. I was taking a nap. It's the middle of the day. And I remember something that I'd heard from Terry Cole Whitaker. So this was back like late 80s, Reverend Terry Cole Whitaker, about reversing things in your dream. It's kind of the same thing that I'm saying now about who's going to put a picture at the end of it. When she told that story about this woman that the monster's chasing her, and and she's running and it's, the eye is falling out, and she falls over and she's like, oh, what are you gonna do with me? And the monster says, I don't know, lady, it's your dream. She says, it's your dream. So she was saying, like, in the dream, like, you can reverse it. You can do, like, whatever. So in my dream, I did that. And I woke up and I was in this panic. This is panic. And I ran outside and I said, where's the dog? Where's the dog? And I was like, I don't know. And I said, he was here. And I said, I keep telling everybody he's going to get hit by a car. And their attitudes, that's another Oprah show. So I go, and I used to live in the Silver Lake area at this time, had a condo there, and the hills were very, very steep. So there my dog was cat a corner, and I yelled at him. And I think the whole neighborhood probably thought his last name was No, because all they heard was Chuck, no, a lot. So I yelled his name, and it made him run towards me. But as he's running towards me, this car is coming up this hill, and I know the car cannot see him. I've never done this before in my life, but it was like from the bowels, just, no! I mean, it was just, ah! And it's like the car slowed down, and all I could hear was him screaming. And I couldn't look. It was just, I can't look. And I felt something, like right beside me, and I opened my eyes, and there he was. And he was bleeding from the tongue. And I rushed him to the vet, and here's what happened. The car literally ran over him, didn't hit him. And the vet said that he was bounced around underneath the car like a pinball machine. So he was not hit. He had no broken bones, and he bit his own tongue in the process. And it taught me this lesson. You can't control the events. An encounter with a car had his name on it. But that didn't mean he had to die. That's that fill in the blank at the end of that card stack. Are you with me? It didn't necessarily have to mean that. So it took this vision of possibility that every time I imagined or could see this encounter of declaring, he's safe and he's whole and he's fine. If anybody is a parent, I know you know what I'm talking about. Where you know that there's just some stuff you can't protect your kids from. And you know it's got their name all over it. But you pray. You have a vision of possibility that they're going to come out on the other side. There's a Mack truck headed towards the USA. Just like that car with Chuck. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't know if anybody can stop the truck. But what I do know is that if we have a vision of possibility, of coming out whole, perfect, and complete on the other side, that even the counter with the truck can be redemptive. Talking about visions of possibility. Can you feel this is so much bigger than just having a resolution about a particular thing? Stand in a vision of possibility, whether you can picture it or not, as a physical picture is beside the point. It's let everything in your body resonate with the possibility of it. That's all. Don't give in to the facts. Don't give in to the appearances. Don't give in to everything that looks like it can't be so. How many of you have experienced miracles? And nobody can tell you that it didn't happen. Now the question is, will you stand on the miracles that you know? You feel that? Will you let it be a stepping stone so accumulatively it gives you information? We get a miracle and then we forget. and we're starting all over again. We get a miracle, we forget, and we're starting all over again. It reminds me of Wanda Sykes. I remember sharing this one time in her, I think it's her I'ma Be Me, that she did right after Barack Obama got elected the first time. And she was talking about kids learning in the U.S. and how we just study to regurgitate. That's all we do. It never really sticks. She says it's like the stuff goes in the brain. She says it's like we're a big human Etch-a-Sketch. We just like shake it out, and it's gone. That's how we do our miracles. It's like, oh, made it through that. Back to worry, back to doubt, back to fear, back to lack, back to limitation. Don't do that. Don't. That's part of why we keep gratitude journals. Part of the reason why you keep the gratitude journals is to keep fresh before you the miracles, the blessings, so that you can get to a point where you have an expectancy, not particular expectations, but an expectancy of things coming, of things revealing, of things happening. That's when you start living in the vision of possibility. And I just promise you, if you will dare, if you will just dare to be willing to speak it, to write it, to say it, to claim it, whatever it is, I'm happy, I'm whole, I'm healed, I'm free, I'm creative, I'm safe, I'm secure, I'm loved. That starts the vibration, and the universe responds to everything you're putting out. When you say everything's nasty and you know, you're kicking the curb and spilling everything, I don't know about you, but when I start off in a foul mood, it doesn't get better. It doesn't get better. At some point, I have to self-regulate. At some point, I got to say, you know what? I got to change my attitude. I got to change my attitude and spin this thing around. And the universe is just saying yes to you all the time. You say life sucks, it gives you plenty to prove just how much it sucks. You say life is good, it'll give you evidence. It'll give you evidence. What are you looking for? Seek and ye shall find. Are you looking for the miracles? Are you looking for the possibilities? Are you looking to resonate? Or just running from the pain? Life is a wonderful adventure. This New Year thing, it's a gimmick. Does anybody really know what time it is? You know, we don't know. Chinese have a calendar, the Jews have a calendar, the Aztecs have a calendar, and you know, ours is just, the ones with the Gregorian is like the shortest. Does anybody really know? Honestly, I remember I was getting kind of tired, like 10 o'clock Pacific time, New Year's Eve, and I was thinking, well, shoot, it's New Year's, it's midnight somewhere. Well, I just blow this little thing and go to bed. New York has already been midnight. You know, what am I waiting for? And just remember that, okay? It's your new year whenever you say it's your new year. Now is not a time on the calendar. Now is not on the clock. Now is your declaration. Anytime you do anything, you make that now. You can't take an action in the future. You can't take an action in the past. So when you're waiting for stuff to happen, stop waiting. And by your moving in that direction, you create the nowness of the moment. You can have a new year whenever you say you want it. Today is the first day of the rest of your past. You're not stuck with your past. You create a new past by what you do today. When today becomes yesterday tomorrow, you have created a brand new past. And that's something. The power that we have. Are you willing to live in vision? Yes. Oh, yes. Let's pray. Let's pray. That is good. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Let's live in some vision. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, baby. In this moment right now, we just declare, create in us a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within us. In this moment right now, we lay it all down. The fears, the worries, the doubts, the concerns, the lack, the limitations, we lay it down. The timetables, the agendas, the hopes, the desires, the dreams, the longings. We lay them down. In this moment right now, we're knowing that each and every person is here for a purpose. Our lives are not random. Our lives have meaning. And in this moment right now, we dare to have the audacity to say my life is fulfilled. And allow life to start moving us in that direction. We say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's an attitude of gratitude where we see. We see. And here back within my head where we see. Or where what we don't see, we do see. And what we do see, we won't anymore. Thank you, God. In this moment right now, we dare. We dare to claim all needs met. We don't have to know how, but we're claiming it now. Healing's in the body temple. Resolution to our financial affairs. Clarity of direction. Opportunities opening. We dare to declare it right now. Harmony, peace, and reconciliation in our relationships. Truth and justice reigning supreme. We dare. In this moment right now, every prayer that we're praying for ourselves, we pray for everybody. The enoughness for everybody. For every home. Regardless of station in life. Regardless of where you are. A retirement home. A refugee camp. A prison. The White House. Your house. Wherever you are. God is just saying yes. Yes. Our dreams are waiting for us to come true. Yes. Yes. We drop the burdens, the heaviness of heart, anything and everything that would weigh us down. We take the shackles off our feet so we can dance. To dance the dance of life. We call forth divine order, right action, in politics, in business, environmental sustainability, in justice and education, in every conceivable arena. We have the vision of the sweet earth restored and clean, in perfect balance and order. Oh, yes. We say thank you, God, for blessing Interlight Ministries, for blessing all faith communities everywhere, whether they're formal or not, but wherever people are gathering together to uplift, to support each other, to commune with the divine, to heal, to transform. May your glory be present. We say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for our divine right residents, our individual homes, divine right transportation, divine right companionship, divine right employment, divine right transportation, divine right access to food and to resources, divine right health care and child care, divine right everything. And for Interlight's new home, yes, as we stand here on the precipice of the eve of our 22nd birthday. No, we may bring in 23 in brand new duds. Yes, you open up the way. It is good. It is done. We get out of the way. We allow it to be, and so it is.